NIL is finally empowering athletes off the field and off the court. They can start their own businesses, become entrepreneurs. That wasn't a possibility just a couple of years ago.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Sideline Stories. Today I'm here with Jack Adler, founder of Out2Win Sports. How you doing today, Jack?
Let's go. I'm hyped. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time. Can you just start with a quick intro? I want just introduce yourself and maybe just talk briefly about what Out2Win is.
For sure. Yeah. So my name's Jack Adler. I'm currently a senior at Syracuse University. A year and a half ago, I founded Out2Win Sports, which is a creative agency in the NIL space, helping partner athletes and brands, and then executing on the content behind those partnerships. So really just the baseline of what it was founded on was seeing that so many of these NIL deals early on were content deals. So it was brands and athletes partnering up, brands sending the athlete a product, the athlete's posting an Instagram picture, thumbs up, smiling, saying, I'm excited to announce my partnership with blank. And we thought those partnerships could have been a lot better. And we took a step back and evaluated how we could really provide value to make those partnerships better. Built a production team, built a creative team, and continued to facilitate partnerships between athletes and brands, but then brought in this team to actually execute and make the content high level, high quality, most importantly, high engagement. So, for example, we'll take players. So 2 players from the Syracuse lacrosse team, took them, partnered them up with a hot sauce company. Instead of them posting a picture with it, they're posting a video of them competing in a shootout. The loser of the shootout has to try the hottest hot sauce. That's my favorite example of videos that we've done thus far, but really kind of shows the idea of the concepts that we put behind them that aren't just showing what the brand is, but actually putting a piece of content, a story behind the brand and intertwining it into that story, showing the athlete's personality. So that's what we've been building for the last year and a half. And it's been really, really cool to sit at the forefront of this new and emerging industry and watch as it all evolves.
Absolutely. And we're definitely going to get into NIL and kind of the first year and a half now and kind of where it's heading and all that good stuff. I do want to say, though, I appreciate the intro about kind of what Out2Win's all about and how you guys differentiate yourself. And I think it's really cool because it's almost, in my eyes, you're thinking about it more from the consumer or viewer's perspective. Like, does a viewer want to follow a Syracuse lacrosse player? Like, let's say a local Syracuse kid who like looks up to the lacrosse team, right? Do they want to see a kid with a bottle of hot sauce and a thumbs up? Does that add any value to what they're consuming? Or like you said, you do the shootout, next thing you know, they're really invested in these guys' personalities and they're invested in the content they're producing. It just takes those NIL deals, in my eyes, kind of just to the next level.
And I mean, well, I am that kid. I'm the target consumer that so many of these partnerships are trying to go after. So that's where I was really able to identify that better than anyone else in the space can. Because again, I'm a senior in college right now. I am living the day-to-day life of the target consumer that so many of these brands are trying to reach. So having my feet on the ground at a college campus, having that unique perspective has really allowed me to take a very differentiated approach in this new industry, mostly by seeing so many of these NIL deals that, for me, I know did not capture my attention. It did not get me to click anything. So how can we help these brands, not only help these brands take their ads to the next level, but how can we help the athletes actually use these partnership opportunities as a way to build their own personal brand in the process? And a video like that I explained, where it's 2 lacrosse players competing against each other and then actually like showing their personalities through having organic reaction to the hot sauce, it's building a personal brand. It's showing the audience that you have a side of yourselves that they haven't seen before. And a lot of these athletes right now, their most recent posts, it's pictures of them on the field, on the court. It's pictures of them making a tackle, scoring a goal. But if you really show that more behind the scenes personality of who you are, that's the way that you can really connect with people and build a social presence for yourself.
Kind of moving along, I know that some people might just say it's a logo, but I think having a really strong brand presence from someone's company goes a long way. And I saw a tweet that said something like, why would you trust an athlete? Why would, an athlete trust a brand to help them with their brand activation or brand improvement if that company doesn't have a strong brand themselves? And I was going to add a picture of the Out2Win logo, which I think is very tough, but you already looks like repping it. So can you talk a little bit about the importance of having a strong brand yourself when you're working with athletes and brands and other companies to help them with their partnership and brand activation?
100%. And that takes me back all the way to like August, September of 2021 when I first launched this company. And I knew before doing anything, I had to create and build a brand for myself, which it was Out2Win. I wanted to create a name and a brand presence that had an impact further than just what the name was. And I spent so much time trying to come up with that name. And Out2Win really embodies not only what we're building, but the athletes that we're trying to associate with, the brands that we're trying to associate with. And I think that has had a huge impact in gaining athletes' trust. Having that brand presence behind it, that is so powerful. It's like, are you a part of are you Out2Win? Has its own impact on athletes aside from just actually helping them get brand activations. It's like you're embodying a meaning, a message that is a lot of athletes want to show that they embody. So being an Out2Win athlete means a lot more than getting brand partnerships. It means that you believe in and embody a certain message. So for that, brand messaging, brand positioning has been everything. Just getting our feet off the ground. And yeah, if an athlete's going to trust someone to help them build their own brand, you want to see that they have a brand built for themselves. So we put a lot of time and focus into creating our own content and building our own brand on social media because we know the importance of that. And we don't expect anyone to trust us to build their brand if we can't build our own.
Exactly. No, I think you hit it right on the head. And I like how that your brand name Out2Win, like you just said, you can use it in a sentence. Are you out to win? And I think that word win has double, triple meanings. Like, are we talking about a lacrosse or soccer player winning a game, a basketball player winning a game? Or are we talking about winning a season or winning on and off the court or winning after college? So I think that word win kind of has a lot of double, triple messages that kind of exemplifies what your brand's all about.
Our thing is we know athletes, just about every single athlete in America, in the world, is out to win on the field, on the court. Everyone's out there to win a game. But we're looking for the athletes that are out to win off the court, off the field. And those are the ones that we're here to help, here to work with. If that is a message that you can embody, that's a goal that you can embody and chase after, like, we're here to help you. We're here to help you become out to win off the field, off the court.
Jack, at this time, I just want to start by saying thank you very much for taking the time. Appreciate all your insights. It's been great. I've learned a lot throughout this conversation. Hopefully you have as well, along with all of our listeners and viewers. At this time, the floor is yours. Anything else you want to add that we missed? Where people can find you and Out2Win on social media, follow along with the journey forward.
Yeah, no, would love for people to follow along with the journey as it's just getting started. You can follow us on Instagram, which is really our main platform. It's just Out2Win, OUT, the number 2, WIN. Appreciate the shout out to our logo, by the way. That means a lot. But yeah, I mean, the one thing that I would love to leave people with is, I mean, I'm 22 years old, and to be able to sit in a room with people within the industry and feel like an expert because it's so new, has been an unbelievable experience, and is one that I really do advocate for other college students to throw themselves into the fire and learn from. You really can't learn anything unless you start. So the biggest thing, because so many people have reached out to me on really at this point a daily basis, and it feels really cool because I was that person reaching out to different people in the sports industry and still am. But to have people reaching out to me saying, hey, how can I get my foot into the sports industry? And of course, the first answer is provide value, but how? It's just by throwing yourself into the fire, throwing things at a wall and seeing what sticks. Like the first try may not be a success. The second try may not. But the 10th, the 11th, the 100th, the 1,000th, like, just be relentless in throwing yourself into the fire, throwing things against the wall. and it will work out. I promise you it will. One way or another, it will work out, whether that's through actually just getting experience and learning from all your failures, or hitting that success and taking something to the next level. It'll work out. And I haven't learned a single thing. I wouldn't have learned a single thing if it weren't for just throwing myself into the fire. So that's what I will leave with the listeners here. And feel free to reach out to me at jack@out2win.net if you ever like that conversation.
Absolutely. Jack, I really appreciate that. One of the best mic drops we've had on this podcast in the podcast history. No, but for real, some serious insight and some things to think about there if you're high school, college, post-college, trying to get into the sports or NIL world. So yeah, thank you for taking the time. Make sure to follow along, guys. Jack Adler, Out2Win. And we look forward to seeing what you continue to get done in the space and following along.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate it.